Like clockwork, they begin to assemble. Men on this side, the women at the other end. Everything must be perfect. The shirt, the pants, the shoes, the blouse, the headscarf. Nothing can be left to chance. It's 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, and the chief is ready to address the squadron.
Today we're going to conduct an operation in the area of discipline. We need to make sure that the public knows how to apply the Islamic Sharia law.
Meet the men and women of Wilayatullah Hizbah, which in Indonesia means control team. They're part of a special police unit that enforces Islamic law, also known as Sharia. This is their headquarters in the provincial capital of Banda Aceh. So we're getting a chance to go with the Sharia police to go on a particular patrol. They're going to basically show us how it's done, how they go about enforcing the moral codes of the city. Our destination this morning, a major intersection a couple of miles out of town. So what kind of things are you going to be looking for today?
We'll be looking for women wearing tight outfits, unmarried couples, things like this.
The province of Aceh started implementing Islamic law in 2001. Armed with only the Quran and a religious conviction, the officers patrol day and night, trying to keep the streets clean of sin.
Those who break the law should be scared. If you don't break the law, you have nothing to worry about.
And Aceh is not alone. Across the world's largest Muslim-populated country, dozens of local governments have adopted Islamic laws.
And it's not just the responsibility of the Sharia police to enforce these laws. Every citizen in this province is also a member of our force, making sure that everyone is adhering to these laws.
We arrive at our destination, and within minutes, the desks and chairs are set up. The signs go up, the roadblock is erected, and the spotters are deployed, tasked with pulling over potential offenders. And guess what? It doesn't take long before the first offender is tagged. 32-year-old Yanti was on her way to work. Yanti is told why she's being stopped today. A female officer then escorts her to a desk where her ID, phone number, address, and other details are logged. A few minutes later, Yanti pays a visit to Mr. Hamdani Hadi, the resident Islamic scholar on duty for this operation. Mr. Hadi spends time explaining what the Quran says about how a woman should dress in public.
Women must be covered from head to toe. Even the palm of their hand should not be seen. They can't wear clothing that is tight or show the curve of the body. When we find someone who has broken this law, we will issue a warning and instruct them on how to dress better in the future.
Violators are given 3 warnings. The 4th infraction lands you behind bars.
And it's not just dress code violations. If we catch you drinking alcohol, committing adultery or other vices, you'll end up in here too.
Last year, the provincial government passed a bill allowing adulterers, homosexuals, and other religious offenders to be put to death by stoning. The bill has yet to be signed into law.
They told me that my outfit was too tight and that I should have worn something less provocative. I really felt scared. I actually feel guilty for what I'm wearing.
There are some 2,500 men and women who today patrol the cities and villages of Aceh. These folks see themselves as the moral and spiritual guardians of the province. 27-year-old Deti Juliati joined the Sharia police force a couple of years ago. She believes her role is critical to ensuring that women live a wholesome life and avoid situations that can bring unwanted attention.
When women wear outfits that are inappropriate, it can turn men on. Men are mesmerized by the curve of a woman's body, and that can be fatal.
Giuliatti sees young girls like Fabrianita, who was also stopped because of her outfit, as vulnerable minds open to un-Islamic thoughts and deeds.
I've never been stopped before, but I had this feeling this morning when I left home that perhaps my pants were too tight or that my top was a little too flashy. I'll be more careful next time.
But opinions about the laws and the role of the religious police are divided in the city. There is growing frustration here with Islam, and so many young people are pushing for religious moderation. 17-year-old Anis Silla is not having a good day.
I never imagined that I would get up this morning and get pulled over.
Anis was dropping his sister off to work when he got stopped at the security checkpoint manned by a group of religious police officers.
They stopped me because I'm not wearing long pants.
The officers belong to a special police unit that cracks down on people who wear clothes deemed un-Islamic. They also keep a close eye on any unmarried couples who sit too close to each other, people drinking alcohol, or women who are not adequately covered. Anis is ushered to a table and lectured on what is permissible in Islam. The whole ordeal is clearly unsettling him.
This is silly. It gets so hot here during the summer, and I like to wear shorts. I can't believe the officers think that this is against my religion. This is crazy.
His comments are interrupted by an officer who is also clearly not amused by his interview with us.
Listen here, young man. You're breaking Islamic law. Men are supposed to wear long pants, and that is why you were stopped. Now stop talking with these people and move on. This is your last warning.
Islamic law was introduced in Aceh province in 2001. Some 2,500 religious men and women are hired to enforce it. The law has put severe restrictions on people here.
We have to keep an eye on the young people especially. They have a tendency to rebel against these laws.
And this is where many of the youngsters spend their evenings, down at the oceanfront.
I can see now why this is such a popular spot for the residents here in the area, because it truly is a spectacular scene, the sun setting over the Indian Ocean. However, it is a popular target for the Sharia police.
Sisters Arwani and Irini Wilda are out enjoying the evening, but they're never totally relaxed.
The Sharia police are always on the prowl, looking for unmarried couples kissing or sitting too close to each other.
There are clearly many couples this evening who are breaking the law, but don't seem to care.
Young people are rebelling against these restrictions, and some are even questioning what it means to be a Muslim.
And the presence of the Sharia police isn't helping either.
The Sharia police are very unpopular.
Sydney Jones is an American who covers Islamic issues for a Brussels-based firm. She lives in Indonesia and has documented national attitudes toward the religious police.
They go around and they encourage kind of vigilantism, encourage neighbors to report on neighbors, and they themselves have been implicated in a number of serious crimes.
Most recently, the case involving an officer accused of raping a woman he'd arrested for an illicit relations with a man.
I wish it used to be like the old days before the rules. We were much freer. Now we have to play a kind of hide and seek with the police.
Let's be clear, Indonesia is a very pious nation. This is, after all, home to the world's largest Muslim population.
A Pew poll a couple of years ago found that 80% of Indonesian Muslims say that they prayed at least 5 times a day.
But a growing number of them, especially in the big cities like Jakarta, are pushing for a more moderate version of Islam, unlike that practiced in Banda Aceh. Take, for example, 19-year-old college student Nindi, who is comfortable practicing her Islamic faith and wearing shorts in public.
I think people in other Muslim countries will be shocked and surprised to see this. But it's not about what you wear, but what's in your heart. We should be open and respect each other's opinion.
But those who still feel disillusioned by Islam are turning elsewhere. Many of them are embracing Christianity, and apparently in big numbers. A recent Time magazine article called Christianity's surge in Indonesia a religious revolution. This pastor, whose identity we have concealed for security reasons, works in Banda Aceh. Here she's meeting with a group of believers, many of them Muslim converts to Christianity. She says she's witnessed an explosion of church growth since the 2004 tsunami.
Before the tsunami, this area was very close to the gospel. But things have changed. People are more receptive now.
Back at the police checkpoint, after a few choice words for the police officer, a frustrated Anis is ready to move on with his day, determined not to obey the religious admonition of the officers.
I am really disappointed. Really disappointed.